How can she be lying like this and you say I shouldn't talk? Why shouldn't I talk?
Shut up, you don't know what you want to talk for yet. May you keep quiet because I did like I try to package myself. I don't want to talk Kenya, so you relax. I beg. I take goat and cow, beg you.
And apart from that, I realized this boy was playing a game in the house, but I actually pretended and I said, let's play together. This is the place. So I overheard him and Chomzi talking one day. I knew his game plan, but just because, let's say,
what were you saying?
I'm coming. I won't deny I liked him, but then where I knew this is a game, and me, I'm like, all right, I'm here for 100 million, I'm ready to drop content.
Guys, tonight's show was just simply hilarious. It was hilarious and it was noisy at the same time. Yes, I mean, PHYNA and Groovy were just talking over each other, guys. At some point, I kind of zoned out. Yes, I kind of zoned out. But in the midst of all the drama, in the midst of all the back and forth, guys, the glaring fact that is the takeaway from tonight's conversation is the fact that these two people, their relationship was not built on sincerity in the first place. Yeah, their relationship was not built on a pure foundation in the first place. On PHYNA's part, it was built on betrayal to Amaka and Beauty. Let's call a spade a spade. And I remember that back then when the whole thing was happening, I was quite, rooting for PHYNA. I was rooting for both of them. Why? Because they were playing the game at the time. Yes. But the fact that they even allowed the relationship to even get outside with all of that toxicity as their foundation, guys, what were they expecting? What exactly were they expecting? I mean, on Groovy's part, the relationship was never built on sincerity. The relationship on Groovy's part was built on competitiveness, on desperation to create content in Big Brother's house, to be in a ship. Yeah. To be in a ship and possibly emerge the winner of the show based on aesthetics, based on the narrative of romance. By the end of the day, Groovy, being the player that he was in Big Brother's house, ended up getting played by a bigger player, aka PHYNA. Hence the reason she won the show. Besides her many talents, of course. So guys, let's get into this video and unpack all the juicy drama from tonight's episode of the Big Brother Naija Level Up Reunion Show. There's a lot to talk about, and this is also a quick reminder to all of you that tomorrow being Saturday, 3 p.m. WAT, we're going to be converging on this channel to discuss the madness. Yes, guys, today was a mad day on social media. Yes, so we're going to be discussing the madness of today, everything as regards the whole PHYNA drama, the whole chichi drama, guys, multi-choice inclusive. There's lots and lots and lots of receipts, and I just need you all to come out en masse. Let's have a robust conversation, all right? And officially, you are all specially welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the T. Please, if you're yet to become a part of this community, it's quite easy. Just go ahead, do exactly what you see on your screen so that you do not miss out on any juicy update from this channel. All right, now quickly, let's proceed into the details of this conversation. Tonight's conversation revolved around the Groovy, PHYNA, and Amaka's triangle. Now, Beauty is also a part of that mix, but today being the day 5 of the reunion show, we are yet to see her make an appearance, looking at the fact that she's also the disqualified housemate of the season. So probably just like in Tacha's season, she's going to make an appearance one way or the other soon. I don't know yet, but the conversation first picked off with the whole conversation that PHYNA and Amaka had in the house about Groovy. Now, guys, we've actually overflogged this issue. We've talked about it over and over and over again about how Amaka had sent her friend in the house, PHYNA, to go and, let Groovy know of her likeness towards him, of her intentions and her interest towards him, only for PHYNA to go there and took the guy. Yes, I don't want to use the word snatched the guy. Yes. Now, according to Amaka, her hurt was the fact that PHYNA never gave her feedback on that errand. The next thing she saw was PHYNA was already with Groovy. They were kissing. They were an item already in the house. And then it was the day that PHYNA was, you know, giving Groovy some sort of ultimatum. Oh, choose between myself and Amaka. And Amaka had been asked by Groovy, oh, did you like me? And Amaka said, no, if you want to take PHYNA, go ahead and be with PHYNA. Now, guys, the way this whole conversation was actually portrayed, and because we also witnessed it happen on our TV screens, guys, it was very, very annoying, because all over again, it completely reminded me of how kind of manipulative, you know, subtly manipulative Groovy was back then on the show, you know, carrying on his innocent face, pink hair, you know, looking like, oh my God, I'm confused. Oh my God, I'm just here. The girls are rushing me. Now them, they rush me. I don't even know what they want. Oh my God, if this one kisses me today, I will kiss. If this one sleeps on my bed, I will sleep. You know, it was like Groovy was more like the public toilet of the house, guys. It was quite annoying, yes. And the way Amaka handled the whole situation, she tried to handle it as gracefully as she could. Also looking at the fact that that was a confined space, and the one person you called your sort of bestie in the house betrayed you in that manner, guys. You can imagine the trauma that she would have been going through at the time in the house. Then, PHYNA's response to what Amaka said on the reunion show now was that she had actually used 2 whole days to tell Groovy about Amaka's interest in him. 2 whole days. And that Groovy did not indicate any interest back. Groovy had actually said that he liked her instead. And then both of them, they had carried on. Now, I like the fact that she had actually admitted that she did not go back to give Amaka feedback. Then Ebuka had asked her if she felt like she did not owe Amaka an apology. And guys, I don't know if you all witnessed that so-called apology, but in my frank opinion, that was not a genuine apology. I've done a video about conditional and unconditional apologies on this channel before. And one thing I said on that video was, if you want to genuinely apologize to someone, you are not supposed to add the word, if I offended you. Yes, the moment you put that conditional clause there, oh, if I did this or if I did that, then it means that there is no point of realization that you actually offended this person. There is no point of realization that you know, actually did anything wrong. PHYNA had actually told Amaka, if you feel I offended you, I apologize. And I'm like, nah, that's not an apology. That was not a sincere or genuine apology. And all over again, it was just very glaring that just as PHYNA was unremorseful back in Big Brother's house, back when the show was still on, she's still unremorseful on the outside. And then the conversation moved on to the whole situation of whilst Beauty was still on the show, PHYNA and Amaka had actually advised Beauty about Groovy back then, when Beauty and Groovy were constantly having their quarrels, their lovers stiff, and Beauty and Amaka had stood in as friends of Beauty, you know, concerned neighbors, to offer her advice, which also brings another angle to the whole conversation, because guys, at the end of the day, it turned out that PHYNA was not the only person that actually betrayed someone. Yes, because if Amaka also joined, you know, PHYNA in advising Beauty while she was still on the show, and then after Beauty left, she automatically started indicating interest in Groovy, then it only goes to show that the same stroke that she dealt to Beauty was also dealt to her by her closest friend in the house. So at the end of the day, Amaka in a way betrayed Beauty. Then she got betrayed by PHYNA. Everybody chop at the end of the day. And then there was the question of, okay, you were the one advising this girl, you know, about this guy, to be careful about this guy, you know, to not give all of our attention to this guy. And then she was disqualified, and then all of a sudden you were jumping onto the bandwagon. And what was PHYNA's excuse? She said, at the time that she was advising Beauty, she did not know Groovy that well. She said she did not know Groovy that well. And then she was saying that, that she actually had in mind, because of what Sakes had actually explained to her about what Beauty had actually thought, that, oh, and while she was in the house, PHYNA had eyes for Groovy, that she had been thinking that, oh, after the show, Beauty is the first person that she will go and explain to. She does not know how Beauty was feeling And I'm like, I don't understand. Is it the same show that we all watched that PHYNA is actually explaining like we did not watch the show at all? Because the PHYNA that we all remember in the house, or let me just use myself for example, the PHYNA that I remember from the house was a PHYNA that did not give an actual fuck. Was a PHYNA that did not care that she was actually betraying Beauty. According to her, she did not see any marriage certificate in the house. According to her, she and Beauty were never friends. According to her, she did not owe Beauty any explanation. And I love the fact that Groovy also reminded her that, listen, I don't remember both of us having such a conversation because you were the one that kissed me. I mean, guys, the whole thing was just so hilarious. There's nothing as worse as having a man that you threw so many people under the bus for, throwing you under the bus as well on national television during the reunion show, guys. I mean, I'm just like, nah, PHYNA, the way you laid your bed back in Big Brother's house, that's the same bed that you've brought for you now on the reunion show to lie on. About their relationship, apparently both of them actually broke up months ago. Now, according to Groovy, they broke up due to irreconcilable differences. There were so many issues, just so many issues, and according to him, they were personal. He wouldn't want to talk about them on TV. And I said, thank you, Groovy, for not revealing things that will block our ears at the end of the night. Yes, but now, according to PHYNA, she said that the reason they broke up was she realized that Groovy was confused, he was manipulative, the boy is a mama's boy, and she also realized that Groovy was actually playing games with her. That she had actually overheard the conversation that Groovy had with Cheesy in the house. Guys, I don't know if you all recall that particular night when I think the house had been merged and then they had a party in the garden, and Cheesy was advising Groovy that, oh, between Chomzy and PHYNA, that Groovy should settle for PHYNA because PHYNA had been nominated back to back and she had never been evicted. In other words, she's a strong player in the game, so if he joins forces with her in the form of a ship, then his position in the game was secured. And that was exactly what Groovy did, and it worked for her. So everything that we had actually been discussing on the outside here about all the games that Groovy was playing, you know, trying to use Chomzy, trying to use PHYNA, ended up even using her to climb up the ladder, you know, guys, everything, according to PHYNA, she heard that conversation, and then when she came out, she had even seen more video clips of even when Groovy had a conversation with Daniela, talking about, oh, he likes Chomzy as well, oh, Daniela should keep an eye on PHYNA, and Daniela had gone ahead to advise him that, okay, fine, since you are playing your game, do what you have to do with PHYNA inside the house, and then when you go outside, go after Chomzy. And guys, whilst PHYNA was saying all of these things, Daniela was just sitting down there watching. I'm like, see them. They are the ones that will bring their face like they are very, very innocent to the reunion show. Meanwhile, inside the house, they've been doing a lot. They've actually been doing a whole lot. And guys, to be frank with you, PHYNA did not lie about those clips because I actually saw those conversations with my own two eyes. Yes, according to PHYNA, even after the show ended, the relationship was not smooth. They kept on breaking up and coming back together, breaking up. It was like an off and on situation. And even the South Africa trip that they had, they were not on good terms, only for them to get there and Groovy was acting like they were in a relationship. But then she later found out that Groovy and his team had actually planned for both of them, you know, that's for Groovy to get back together with her for clout. I don't know how true that is, guys, but why am I not surprised that Groovy did all what he did and is even capable of such accusations from PHYNA? Guys, because we saw it play out in the house. And I remember back then when I kept on saying that this Groovy guy, PHYNA looks like she's really, really in love with this guy. But then it's very obvious that this guy is actually playing games with PHYNA. I kept on saying it. But a lot of people felt like, oh, Glory is not a lover of beautiful things. But guys, that was exactly what happened. And you see, yeah, in the midst of all their back and forth tonight, in a way, I was just having a good laugh. Honestly, guys, I was just having a good laugh. Because the truth is, a relationship that is not built on honesty, a relationship that is not built on a soft ground, a relationship that is not built on genuinity, what do people expect of such a relationship? It's gonna crash. The way PHYNA and Groovy started their ship in the house, guys, they started on a fire mode, if you know what I mean. And quite frankly, I was not expecting both of them to continue that game they were playing on the outside, because the truth is, it never would have worked. PHYNA was never Groovy's spec in that sense. He made it clear in the house the kind of person he would have loved to be with was Chumsy. But then, game-wise, quite frankly, I was quite happy with the way everything turned out in the house. Because yes, at the end of the day, PHYNA used Groovy just as much as he used her to play a game, and she emerged the winner. As usual, I will point out that all those insults, the bashings, guys, I just felt like it was just completely unnecessary from PHYNA. Yes, it was just completely unnecessary, because she made it look like she was really pained that the way things ended between both of them did not go in her own favor. But hey, that's just my frank opinion. I would love to hear what you all think in the comment section below. Please go ahead and share, and I will see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with BBNAIJA. Have a good night. Bye.